Do you remember playing treasure hunt and how exciting it was to study the map, find little clues and trail your way to those riches? And so it is with car makers. They spend no effort in the research, development and testing of their new models in hopes that buyers will find their particular treasure in the map that is the vehicle market. Could it be that the new BMW X4 marks the spot? Up until now, this hasn't been the case, at least from a sales standpoint. In 2017 alone, 52,000 X4s were sold globally, compared to more than 140,000 X3s. And then there's the way it looks. Essentially, a shrunken X6. The X4 couldn't match the on-road presence or desirability of the bigger car. Trying to predict sales success or otherwise is like trying to locate treasure without a map. And only time will tell if the new X4 will fare better than its predecessor in the sales race. What we can tell you though is that it looks a whole lot better. BMW has been able to dial more of the coupe-ness into the looks, and the old one's awkwardness is gone. I particularly like those trapezoidal wheel arches and those haunches, damn sexy. Am I blushing? The front end is dominated by the ever-expanding kidney grills, which would look a lot more pleasing without those two unpainted aluminium cross braces behind them. Those long, thin taillights are intended to emphasize the width of the car, although the bootlet still looks just a little bit too high from some angles. The upside of this is that you do get a generous sized luggage compartment, which surprisingly for BMW also houses a spare wheel. If you thought that the practicality extends into the rear area, you'd be mistaken. For shorties like me, it is adequate, but for teenagers who are above average height, they'd be a bit uncomfortable. The seat backs can be set into two positions, upright position and church pew position. For the rest, it's pretty much standard BMW fare. They layout, switchgear and materials identical to that used in the X3 and are all first rate. We love the tan leather in our test unit and would definitely recommend it for lifting the mood of the otherwise somber black cabin. Should your own spirit feel a bit low, a drive in the X4 M40i will have you right as rain in no time. Although this is an SUV, it handles much like a coupe, which I thoroughly enjoy because it takes away much of that heaviness that you sometimes feel when you're driving big cars. They can get a bit cumbersome. The cabin looks really good, but above that, it is well insulated. However, you do sometimes feel some of that roughness and bumpiness that you wouldn't ordinarily find in a ride that is more compliant. Under the bonnet is a 3-litre 6-cylinder turbocharged engine that pushes out 265 kilowatts of power. It also serves up an impressive 500 Newton meters of torque available from low down the rev range. What is less impressive is the fuel economy. A combined figure of 9.2 litres per 100 kilometers doesn't sound too bad for a high-performance vehicle, but with a tank capacity of just 65 litres,
Long distance trips will be dotted with numerous refueling stops.
Now, if you are a speed fanatic like me, you know that it means more thrill, more fun, more dynamism along those open roads.
The X4 M40i will sprint from 0 to 100 in just 4.8 seconds and onto an electronically limited top speed of 250 kilometers per hour. Even better is the satisfying growl emitted by that inline 6-cylinder engine every time you massage the accelerator with your right foot.
It definitely deserves that M badge.
If yours is a more conservative driving style, there are also 2-liter petrol and diesel derivatives to choose from. The diesel is especially frugal, which is something to consider in these times of record high fuel prices.
So has BMW struck gold with the new X4? Well, priced at 1.14 million rand, the M40i is 100k more expensive than the equivalent X3, which is odd considering you get less headroom and less boot space. But what you do get for that extra 100k is style and exclusivity. You can't put a price on that. Does this X mark the spot? I reckon it does.